Hello, I'm making a mini crossword because I hate subscriptions and my webcam is wigging out. Anyway, before we look at the app in progress, I wanted to talk about why I'm making this, and I really have to attribute it to PewDiePie. And I have known about PewDiePie for a long time. I can't say I was always a fan of him, especially in the earlier days, but I'm sure you're aware, you're watching this video on YouTube, you've seen his kind of growth, his metamorphosis into a sort of spokesperson for online privacy and doing it yourself rather than relying on subscription-based services of mega corporations. And so, yeah, I was really inspired by that, and I kind of wanted to pursue software engineering a little bit myself, or computer science, perhaps. And I thought it'd be like easy because I got a pretty heavy background in maths, did it at uni, got a master's in it. Um, and so I'm like, all right, got Linux. I installed Linux on this Chromebook actually. You can see up there. That was a bit of a process. I had to not weld. I had to solder part of the motherboard. Um, went to my dad's house to do that. He's like, "Are you sure you know what you're doing?" No, Dad. You want to help me? I'm not breaking your computer. Anyway, so that's got Linux on it now. I'm like, all right, that's the hardest part, right? Like now I can just start, home labbing and self self-hosting and all that. But no, you got to learn a bunch of stuff. And I started off like reading books, reading online sources, but the best way to learn, as it turns out, is to just do it. And I thought, well, I like games, so I'll try making a game. And then the decision you make is, oh, what programming language are you going to make a game in? Far out, like decision after decision. But I decided to go with Godot because apparently it's quite approachable and uh, uses object-oriented programming, which is desirable, but maybe we'll get into that later. Anyway, gone to Godot's documentation. I can't read that either. And then it's recommended by Godot to go and check out a course offered by Harvard for free, open source. We love open source course offered by Harvard called CS50, um, which I'll go into if I can figure out how to use OBS. I think that switched it. I'm not sure. Anyway, I don't know why I need to be here. I don't need to be here. Oh well, I'm here anyway. I'll go over here. So yeah, this is pretty much like a fully furbished computer science course, and it's all free. And they give you basically 10 weeks of coursework, and then they have a final project at the end. And what I've found from this course is really good. And this teacher here, uh, David Malin, you'll find him on lots of like lots of stuff on YouTube where he's trying to kind of popularize or educate on a broader scale about computer science, and is a very effective teacher. And so for him alone, I can recommend this course just because it's so enjoyable to watch and digest information from. Anyway, yeah, so I have a lot of free time, to say the least. I lost my job recently. I was able to get through 10 weeks of content in just about 3 weeks. And like the first 5 weeks, they're just teaching you, the first 5 or 6 weeks, they're just teaching you C programming, just flat C programming, just to build a better understanding of how machines work, not on like an assembly level, but maybe one level higher from that, just working with C. And you learn about compiling and all that good stuff, and you have to make crazy nested loops and stuff just to show you that like it, it sucks basically. And then they give you Python and SQL and stuff like all this web programming stuff and Flask and after you learn all that, they're like, okay, give us a final project. And so my final project is the mini crossword, which is the title of this video. Yeah, so I'm in the middle of programming that. This is day 2. I'm kind of taking a break. That's why I'm making this video. Just something else to do because my brain's a bit fried. Would go outside, but I'm a bit sick. I got a sinus infection. Just recovering from that. You don't care. So here's what I've got so far. Um, I just got this .puz file. It's just basically a file that, you know, how shall I say? It's just a file that contains crossword puzzles, and you can grab them. Well, I hope there's no revealing information on this page. Anyway, you can just grab them from this free, ad-free, and open source place to share crossword puzzles. So you can click on this one. I think this is actually the one that I have. Yeah, you can download it. It gives you a .puz file. So basically what my program does is it takes .puz files, uploads them into separate SQL, or it uploads it into a SQL database, and then my Python stuff kind of reads through the databases and sends it to this website. Am I capturing the website? Okay, good. Yeah, and it's not perfect. That's why it's in development. Um, like we got this weird stuff. I actually really don't care about this. Um, you can input it. Sonic. We don't have Sonic in Australia, but I did this earlier. And E. coli, which we do have in Australia. Okay. Then you fill it up. You check it. That sends it to my Flask app, the back end. The back end. See, I know programming now. You check it. It checks it. I haven't set up like, oh, you've done it. And if you like do it wrong, like it'll tell it's incorrect, but it like resets everything. Which I kind of like. I play the New York Times Mini with my friends a bunch, and you can game it. You can like fill in everything except one letter, and you just cycle through the letters until you get it. It still feels like a bit of a cheat. And so, what is result of my lack of programming actually kind of gamifies it a little bit better, where you can't just cheat your way into getting a quick solve time. Um, which is something I want to add as well. A timer that ticks up until you solve it, and then, you know, submits it once you click check. And then if you got it right, it sends that time to like a leaderboard. And so I'll have another table in my database that stores users, which would just be my housemates really, because I don't I don't want to open this up to the internet because I don't know anything about web security. And we'll be gunning for sub 1 minute solves, which is what we kind of aspire to with the New York Times mini crossword before it went subscription based, and now I hate it and everything about New York Times. Anyway, no, I don't. I understand that the amount of resources that need to be allocated to upholding something like that, like it doesn't come for free, or maybe it does come for free if you account for the other streams of revenue, but I'm not a network guy, I'm not an economist, I can't really comment on any of that. But anyway, I made it myself from scratch, and here's all the code on Git. So probably the most interesting one is app. Yeah. So we got a well, we only really got one web page at the moment. Post, this is just checking the solution. And, wrong, it just redirects you to the home page, which isn't too helpful. I should add in like win or lose, and then if they lose, it should lock them out or something. Anyway, if it's get, we just retrieve we just execute on the SQL database a bunch of times and just throw that into index.html. Um, index.html, it's a mess. It's a real mess, but it's fairly understandable. It's just like stuff where I don't really know how to index like dicts or lists of dicts. So you've got these random numbers which like I just want the first value. Why is it so hard? You got them here as well. And yeah, this is all the JavaScript. I actually got this one from ChatGPT, but that's it. I swear to God. Just because like this is a clue numbering, and I was trying to do the clue numbering for like 3 hours today. I couldn't figure it out. So I'm like, ChatGPT, how the fuck do I do this? And it's like, oh yeah, check it out, dude. Anyway, that's the index. Layout ended up being pretty useless because like I only have one index file, or only one template file, whatever you call it. Anyway, there's also puz to database. This basically just grabs the puz file and sends everything into a bunch of tables in my database. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We've just got some random puz files floating around just to make sure that everything works. Then the Flask session will start storing users and stuff in there. And then I'll make a leaderboard after I make the stopwatch as well. But yeah, that's essentially it. I will probably make another video when I finish it and might clean up the code a bit, but I just wanted to make this as a bit of a break more than anything. And to show whoever's interested what I'm doing, and I'm hoping there'll be people out there who relate, since there's a bunch of us I think who have joined the computer science, software engineering, computer engineering bandwagon ever since PewDiePie has started to popularize it. So if you're one of those people, like drop a comment, drop a like. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for watching this extremely low production quality YouTube video. Yeah, I'll chuck it into the algorithm because, you know, the algorithm seems to like random people doing random shit now. Maybe not if I'm like swearing all the time, but anyway, thanks for watching.